Alright, welcome to something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and this seems like a good point to do it because I need some filler for this channel. This is SoulCalibur, the first one on the Sega Dreamcast. In the coming months, I'll be playing through all of the SoulCalibur games on the arcade mode. I did this with SoulCalibur 2. I guess it was about a year ago, wow. In that game, I did one video as Ivy and Nightmare. This time I'll be doing it as 4 characters, so there's going to be 2 videos. And I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be doing the same thing with SoulCalibur 3, 4, and then I'm going to play the story mode of 5. And maybe, if I can track it down, I'll pick up Soul Blade or Soul Edge, and I'll play that one too, but for now, we're going to be playing through all the SoulCalibur games. And this one is pretty good, and honestly, the graphics are really just great. But then again, that's what you'd expect from the Dreamcast, which was such an underrated system. Like, this looks like PS2 quality graphics. Like, very early PS2 graphics, but like, damn, this game looks good. There's Cervantes for some reason. Also, this opening goes on forever. Voldo, I think this is the first game that Voldo's in. This is the debut for a lot of series staples. I've never played Soul Edge, so I don't know which characters it is, but I know Voldo, this is his first time. I think like Ivy and Nightmare were all in Soul Edge, and all that good stuff. Actually, maybe this is Ivy's first appearance, too. Yeah, I think out of all the SoulCalibur openings, this one's just kind of the most, like, it's there. And it takes forever. And again, my goal isn't to show off all the characters, it's just to show off all the characters that I like playing as. So here we go, we're going to start it all up. And first off, we're going to be playing as Voldo, who is a series staple now. I think he's in every single one of the games. And come on, how could you not love Voldo? He's so crazy. A lot of his moves are really fun. He's just, I think when you know what you're doing, which I don't, let me just put that out there, he's really fun to watch. Yeah, that's another thing. I have to say this in front of every single fighting game that I ever play solo. I am not good at fighting games. I, for the most part, mash buttons. I know some combos, but I just kind of try and do crazy stuff by mashing buttons and the analog stick in different directions, so that's what you're going to be seeing from me. You're not looking at a pro run of SoulCalibur here. And that's our first opponent down.
This victory strengthened the soul of Voldo. You win.
Oh, Voldo, you so silly. Yeah, so I was first introduced to the SoulCalibur games with SoulCalibur 2. I bought it because Link was in it, and I thought that looked cool. Because I was a big Super Smash Bros. Melee fan. I don't remember if it came out before or after, but I definitely played it after Melee. And I really just wanted to play as Link. I didn't care about any of the other characters. And then the next SoulCalibur game that I played was SoulCalibur 4, which had Star Wars characters in it, so it obviously excited me there. And then after that, I was kind of like, yeah, you know what, these games are pretty cool, so I collected all the rest of them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't have Soul Edge yet.
Voldo versus Sophitia.
I mean, seriously, look at how good this game looks. It seriously looks like a PS2 game. The Dreamcast was seriously one of the best systems. It's definitely in my top 5 favorite systems. I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened. It was released in a really shitty time.
This victory strengthened the soul of Voldo. You win!
The PS2 really did bury the Dreamcast. Which isn't the worst thing, because the PS2 has probably one of the best... No, you know, it probably has the best library of games for any system. But, like, I don't know, the Dreamcast was way ahead of its time. Like, it had internet support, it had so many great games with really good graphics, like the Sonic Adventure game, Shenmue. Freaking Shenmue? Like, how did Shenmue not save the... Well, I know why Shenmue didn't save the consoles, because it was, at the time, the most expensive video game ever made. I don't know if there's a way to turn off the Japanese audio, but I think it adds a little level to this game. I like the Japanese voices. But yeah, I mean, I could make this entire 2 videos of just me talking about how great the Dreamcast was. Also, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I had that on the Dreamcast when I was a kid. That shit was the best. Played that with my dad all the time, and I would always beat him because he's awful. I love doing that. That is still, to me, one of the funniest things, and I'll always laugh at it no matter how many times I see it. Just, if you ring someone out, you can just immediately drop into the water or lava. It's so great. Like, that should constitute, like, hey, yeah, you lose too, but no. It's just so great. So I always try and do that. If I can ring someone out, that is usually what I will go for in a fight. I love his wind poses, too. They're pretty great. Yeah, I don't think the SoulCalibur games really got, like, a unified story until... Oh, that was so cool. The unified story until, I think, 5. I think 5 was the first one to really do, like, a story mode. Which is cool, because I think the SoulCalibur lore is pretty neat. But, you know, if you just play through arcade mode, you do get a little bit of a story. Like, you get these characters that they're forced to fight against. Like, it'll always be the same person at the end of their little battle. And you get, like, an epilogue at the end, but it's not like... I don't think you're supposed to take the epilogues too seriously, because I think most of the characters, like, kind of contradict the other endings. So, a story mode is good. I feel like not many fighting games need a story, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Really, any of the Marvel vs. Capcom games don't need a story mode, they're just fun. Street Fighter doesn't really need a story. Mortal Kombat can get away with a story, but I think SoulCalibur is really the only one that, like, needs a story, because it's interesting characters and locations and... yeah.
Battle 2, fight!
Voldo's one of those characters that he's very fast, which is usually what I look for in a fighting game character. Oh, I love doing that. Like, when you get him on the ground, it's just great. But yeah, Voldo is fast, and I don't think he's as a heavy hitter as, like, someone like Nightmare, but when you have speed on your side, I don't really think that matters, and that's always what I look for in a fighting game character. Like, in Injustice, I'm really good with Nightwing, because he's really fast. That's another game I've tried to do. Like, I've tried to do, like, fighting game arcade modes a bit. The only one that's really worked is SoulCalibur 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I've tried to do Injustice so many times, but the arcade mode is, like, 40 minutes. It's ridiculous. You'd need 2 videos just for one character.
Battle 1, fight!
So, for whatever reason, Voldo's destined battle is Ivy, Isabella Valentine. One of my favorite SoulCalibur characters to play as, and I like her story too. I don't know, I think I have something for women that have the last name Valentine.
Strengthened the soul of you win.
This is her alternate costume. I think you can play as their alternate costume if you hold down the Y button as you select them. It's either the Y or the X button. But yeah, there are alternate costumes in this game. None as cool as the Nightmare alternate costume from SoulCalibur 2, where it's just, I think, Siegfried. Or who was Nightmare in that game? I forget. There's a real battle of wits going on here, and then I just found that out.
Victory strengthened the soul of Voldo. You win.
So that's that. That's we're one step closer to the end of Voldo's story. And now we fight the final boss of arcade mode. Inferno. Inferno's a cool character. I don't think you can play as him. I think you can mod him in, I think I've read, but I don't think you can actually play as him. Yeah, Inferno's not that bad. I don't think he's really that tough of a... well, I think it really honestly just depends on what character you're playing as. Like, right here, I'm doing fairly well against him. But he can also wreck your shit. And there you go. There's Inferno done. And for some reason, after you finish the first round of Inferno, the game always has to, like, load. Like, it'll just stop right around here.
Battle 2.
I don't know why it does that. Like, why at the end of the Inferno fight? What does it have to load? Like, you'd think if anything it would load, like, halfway through arcade mode, not at the very end. Also, yikes, that was a pretty bad attack. But I think we got him.
This victory strengthened the soul of Voldo.
Look at that, that's so glorious. Voldo has so many just great attacks that are funny to watch.
You win.
And that's Voldo. Alright, now we're switching it up with Yoshimitsu, another really fun character to play as, and my main from SoulCalibur 2. I was pretty good with Yoshimitsu in SoulCalibur 2. I mean, he's still pretty good in this game, but I like him a little bit more in SoulCalibur 2. And he's another one of those, like Voldo, that's just very fun to watch. I'd say he's more fun to listen to than watch, but Yoshimitsu's a great character.
Yoshimitsu. You win. Battle 2.
He kind of reminds me of the Running Man from Zelda, because he's got that like thing on his back. I don't know what that is, but that's what he reminds me of.
This victory, you win.
And he's another one that's just got great win animations.
Yoshimitsu.
See, I'm very specific with the characters that I play as. Like, there's just these, like, random normal people. Like, this guy, I don't care about this guy. I've never played as this guy. I probably will never play as this guy. I think that was the quickest match I've ever seen.
You win. Battle 2. Fight.
I love how Yoshimitsu just completely assaults your ears whenever you play as him. They just fall off, buddy. Or just die. And I love how when you do that like weird little charge up thing, he spins his little flag on his back.
Yoshimitsu versus Maxu.
Like this guy, I don't care about this guy. I want to play as the weird out there characters. That's what's great about SoulCalibur. The characters don't really take themselves seriously. Like, look at Voldo. And yeah, you can move the camera in the little, like, recap of, hey, here's how you won. Oh man, I know you could do different grabs at like different points, but I can never do it reliably. I think it depends on what buttons you press and what direction you're facing. Again, I'm no SoulCalibur master, so I don't know all the ins and outs of these games, but I like playing them, and that's all that matters, right? Doesn't matter if you're good or bad at the game, it matters if you like it. Unlike someone like Darkside Phil, who hates all the games he plays and is bad at all of them. And yeah, that's my daily Darkside Phil mention of this playthrough.
This victory strengthens you win. Battle 2.
I wonder what the guy who voiced Yoshimitsu is doing right now. Do you think he makes these noises on a regular basis? Yeah, that's what you get.
This victory, you win.
Oh boy, we got a battle of the minds here.
Yoshimitsu versus Voldo. Battle 1, fight.
I love how Voldo's got nothing else to say other than... Because really, can you really hold a conversation with Voldo? I highly doubt it. Same with Yoshimitsu. Like, Yoshimitsu and Voldo having a conversation would just be a lot of weird noises. Ooh. Major upset over here.
Battle 2, fight.
You lose. I feel like the announcer's the same in, like, all the games. Really, all they had to do is just, like, re-record the names of the new characters, and then they could just reuse, you know, the Battle 1, fight. Final battle, fight. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same guy to this day. It's just a kicking match now. Seems we are at an impasse. And then that happened.
This victory, you win.
I feel like Yoshimitsu's is going on longer than Voldo's did.
Battle 1, fight.
Here's another character I just don't care about. Like, he's a boring guy with a bow staff. Meanwhile, I'm some crazy guy in a mask that jumps around and makes weird noises. Ivy is about as normal a character that I'll play.
You win.
I'm pretty great at this game. I'm like nearly unstoppable. I mean, if you were to poll people and say, you know, who's the best at this game, they'd probably all say me. And they'd all say, who? And I think this is his last fight before... Yeah. So, Yoshimitsu's destined battle is with Nightmare. A great character. I really love Nightmare in pretty much every game he's in. This one I really like his design in this one, but I think SoulCalibur 2 beats the pants out of this one. I like it when he has a lot more armor instead of like his whole chest showing.
Battle 2, fight!
That was like some Star Wars shit there when he jumped over him and then hit him. That was pretty much like, don't try it, Anakin. I've got the high ground. You underestimate my power. Don't try it, and then I won anyway. That's like if Anakin was good. And surprise, surprise, we fight Inferno again. Every single character fights Inferno.
Yoshimitsu versus Inferno.
Let's get this show on the road, huh?
Battle 1, fight!
Who will come out victorious? I'm hoping it's me, but it very well could be Inferno. Oof, that looked painful. And that looked even more painful, and the AI went off the edge. It's like they're studying me.
Battle 2, fight!
I do really love the music in these games too. This one has a great soundtrack. You know, it looks like our Yoshimitsu is not going to. Never mind, he won.
This victory, you win!
How do you like getting wrung out?
Final battle, fight!
So here we're coming up on the end of our playthrough as Yoshimitsu. In the next video, I will be playing as Ivy and Nightmare, my two favorite characters probably in the series. So, yeah, see you in the next one, and enjoy the ending of Yoshimitsu's quote-unquote story.